I thought why not to start with you, from whom I got the knowledge of CSR. How exactly this? Earlier, I was not even aware with the word, and now see, I landed up in this industry and working for the CSR only. So this is
That's great.
how this came into picture, and today we are here. So to introduce you to the audience, basically, you are you are Dr. Ramakrishna Biswal, Associate Professor at NIT Rourkela, and you are taking courses in psychology as well as corporate social responsibility now, and you are actively involved in different clubs as well. You have been guiding the SDG Campus Club of NIT Rourkela, and earlier I was the president of the club as well. Very glad to share with people. So today, sir, we will be talking about the CSR, corporate social responsibility, the landscape, the challenges, and how academia and industry is working these days, and the way forward to it. So I'm
Great.
up with a few questions, and hopefully we will have a good conversation ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sir, beginning with, how do you see the current landscape of CSR in India, especially after it became mandatory under the Companies Act 2013?
Well, the very term corporate social responsibility. So let us understand that from the very scratch of it,
Yeah.
there is a responsibility of the corporate houses towards society. So the society which have given them everything, from physical infrastructure to the wealth that they are creating on a daily basis, they should give back to the society in a way that it would remain sustainable. Corporate houses are not supposed to make only profit. They should also share part of the profit for the welfare of the community or the society that they belong to.
It-
And what we observe, that if corporates would come forward, there would be a huge sea change in the societal level. You talk about poverty, you talk about education, you talk about health, you talk about malnourishment. In every sector, they can have their presence felt, provided they work on a mission mode, that yes, this is my responsibility to give something back to the society. Let me give you an example of the area of disability. I am working closely with the disability field.
Sure,
If
sir.
corporate houses would think about how to help the people with the disability, they have ample opportunities to do that. Even some of the corporate houses, I know they are closely working with the sector, but there are still many aspects which are not being very well addressed. For example, when it comes to the facilities provided to the people with disability, I'm especially talking about four different kinds of disability on which I am working. That is autism spectrum disorder, then intellectual disability, cerebral palsy, and multiple disabilities. So these kids are very special kids, and they need long term as well as lifelong care by their parents. What
Yeah.
happens? Their parents do not get ample time to relax, and there are some cases where the parents have been with the child from the birth till the child is turning 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, as long as the child is living. So how painful it is for some parents and to have a quality life for themselves. So this caregiving aspect, if some of the corporate houses can take up, like they can provide some kind of facilities to the parents, like working from home, how that can be facilitated. Because some of the parents are talented, they are educated, and they can also contribute to the economy of the country. But because of the child who is disabled, they are not able to exercise their skills. They are not able to showcase their skills. So, in such a scenario, how corporate houses can employ those parents who are at home, In addition to that, some help can be made available to them so that they can keep some house help for the caregiving of the child. Then next is setting up some kind of setup where they can leave the child for 2 hours to 3 hours, but they must be assured that the child is properly taken care of. So here, caregiving professionals, role of caregiving professional, caregiving services is the demand for the future. Now we talk about the population. Geriatric population is growing, old age people are growing in the country, but with that old age growth, there is also another challenge that they are alone, so they also need care. They become disabled with age, they need care. So if corporate houses can think about taking up caregiving initiatives to disable to the oldest people, that would be a nice initiative. I mean, from a CSR perspective. So
Yeah.
we can thought of.
Definitely, sir. You have been laying emphasis over how exactly CSR can come into picture in terms of healthcare scenario, and how caregiving things can be facilitated to children facing different disabilities issues, and even to the older generation who are being alone at home these days, and even uh, to old age homes they can extend these facilities. So, do you think that Orissa is also facing these challenges these days, since you are academically involved in Orissa?
Yeah, Odisha is facing these challenges more than the bigger cities, in the sense that most of the remote areas are not well connected with the major cities. So when it comes to providing some services in the rural or tribal areas, because I work with the tribal people, reaching them is one of the difficult jobs for many people to provide services. So if we can have some facilities how to reach them, how easily we can reach them, we can talk about some vehicles which can run in all weather conditions, because this is also another challenge Odisha is facing.
Mm.
Most often the natural calamities they do come to Odisha, so reaching those people to help immediately is a major challenge. Certainly, Odisha needs more than given. Odisha has more requirement.
Yeah, definitely. So, you being engaged in the remote areas and even dealing with the tribal population and working in fields, do you think the penetration of CSR money is low, or is it the multi layered process and intermediate intermediaries that delay its impact?
Well, this is a difficult question, and to answer this, I think we many people do not know how to spend money. That is one of the major challenges. And in the tribal areas also, if the money is given directly to them, they do not know how to spend the money. uh, and if money comes through some intermediaries, there is another challenge that the money might not reach to the beneficiary.
Exactly.
So there are double challenge. In this scenario, what CSR initiative can be done? Like there should be need assessment of the uh, uh, beneficiaries. What exactly they want? Not all the time they need money. Not all the time they need some kind of physical facilities. Not all the time they need jobs. There are different kind of need of people. We are not thinking in that way. There could be a different population. Maybe let us talk about the girls, or the girls in their reproductive age. So they have many health challenges, health needs. Are we actually targeting them? Are we doing some thorough analysis of the needs that they have? Probably we are not doing that. We are just providing them some of the facilities, some of the uh, items, which may not be useful for them. One of my study example from the village, that the sanitary pads that is being used by girls, which is given to the village, maybe through the school or some other agencies, uh, that's not fitting to all.
Yeah,
So we should think about customization. So CSR activities must think about need analysis and customization before providing some kind of services. Otherwise, this kind of help is just a waste. It is
exactly.
not. It is not going to the people uh, they who deserve it, or it is, if it is going, then it is not being used properly.
Yeah, so basically coming from the field and learning from people's experiences, I have always noticed that unprofessional peoples, like unskilled peoples, are there to do the need assessment job in the field
Yes.
these days. So, do you think, from academic perspective, that need assessment should be done by professionals only?
Absolutely, there is no doubt about it. What I can propose, it is a kind of academia industry interface where students who knows about the methods, how to do a study or a survey in the village area, the faculty is teaching them the research methodology or some other methods through which the students are trained, and the faculty would be given the assignment that now you do this for us through your students. So there is double benefit. The students are getting trained, going to the field, getting the survey, preparing the report, and suggesting the company what is to be done in a very logical and rational way.
Yeah,
So definitely those who are in their masters, not undergraduate, I would say, those who are in the masters, and especially those who are in the social sciences field or maybe in the development subjects, they can be roped in and trained to do this kind of need analysis in the villages, and those report can be utilized by the CSR farm of the company.
exactly. Perfectly underlined, Dr. Biswal. So, when we talk about the contribution of academia, uh, do you think that academia can contribute to the CSR ecosystem beyond being a beneficiary of corporate funding as well? Because these days we have been noticing that academia is a major beneficiary of corporate fundings, like building of hostels, getting some sort of vehicles, and all is very profound these days. So is academia also contributing in some other way to this entire ecosystem?
Yeah, of course. Uh, Again, I'll reiterate that this need assessment is important. If the need assessment is not done, then there is no point that the money has any value. So academia must think and must suggest where the money should go, the CSR money should go. And there is a responsibility of the academician to show in terms of some measurable yardsticks that this is what we have achieved for this money. Again, whether it is sustainable or not. Suppose there is a amount given by the company to academic industry, academia, and in the academics, that is not being properly utilized, or that's not been accountable for, then it is a wastage of money. So there should be responsibility from both the sides. Academia is responsible for spending the money in proper way, and CSR must share the profit where it is meant for, where it is needed, not that I'll just share the money and do whatever you like. That should not be there. And there should be continuous evaluation meeting or progress meeting of the projects that have been undertaken. There should be some kind of deadline. There should be sustainability should be the key factor in doing the CSR activities
Yeah,
through
definitely.
academic. Yeah.
So, as far as sustainability is concerned, Dr. Biswal, and even and doing the field works in this particular domain, do you think that till what extent does red tapeism and bureaucratic processes also hinder the effectiveness of these projects?
I would say that red tapeism and bureaucratic system should not come in between of this, but their expertise must be explored because they have come with a very good experience. So that experience can be taken, and how they can speed up the work, that is important. Rather than hindering, they should think about how we can go ahead with completion of the projects. Many projects in our country through the CSR are delayed. It is delayed for various reasons. It is not only bureaucratic red tapeism or something like that. There are many other factors. Many a times those middlemen that we are talking about, they are not professional enough. So we should bring professionalism in the workspace, in the spending of the money, and I would now emphasize on automation. Let us talk about technology. Why not integrate technology to everything? And when it comes to some kind of middleman or some kind of contractor in between the work, uh, are we paying them some kind of money to get the job done, or they are making money out of the project? So this should be made clear, because many advanced countries, they have a specific amount given to the contractor for completing the project. If we are not doing that, then probably we are not doing justice. I think any CSR project can be successful if those who are contributing, or those who are in charge of completion of the project, they should be compensated well, so that they would not compromise on the quality of the work.
Exactly. So even these days, some reports have claimed that as far as CSR funding is concerned and ground realities, that the agencies are focusing more on the quantitative aspect. Like they are doing it for a large chunk of people on paper, but when it comes to the reality, the qualitative arena is quite small. So the qualitative aspect is like this is not reaching to the actual beneficiaries and to the actual people. So how do you look to this particular aspect of this CSR funding and ground realities?
Again, the same thing that I'll repeat: accountability and technology, professionalism. These are the three pillars we must think of now. It is now in the era of AI and machine learning. Uh, we shouldn't depend much on the paperworks. Paperwork is fine, but paperwork should not delay some of the projects. We
Yeah.
can speed up the work, provided we have professionals, we have accountable people for the job, and there is responsibility from both the sides to complete the project. And automation is a must.
Yes. Yeah, automation is must. Like every stakeholder should come into a same scenario and they should intervene and penetrate to the subject, and then these projects should be completed on time. This is
Yes.
what you are exactly trying to lay emphasis on, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
So, and talking about the broader reflections of CSR, if you had to identify one reform that could improve CSR effectiveness in India, what would it be?
I would say that this need analysis by professionals
Yeah.
is the first step. Professionals means those who are in the academia, those who are trained to do this service, not by any other people or anyone they like. So professionalism should be brought in.
Exactly. And we have also seen that companies or the agencies are just taking it as ticking the boxes. So, how can we ensure CSR does not remain a tick box activity for compliance, but it becomes a genuine driver of social development?
I think they need to be given training on this. Like, why CSR? What is the purpose of CSR? There is because most of the companies they might be thinking it as a routine job or kind of uh, a kind of some something which is to be done, but purpose they are not very clear. So they need to be educated on the purpose of the CSR, and then they can really get into it. In addition to that, we should also find people who are really interested in some of the social works. It's not impossible to find people in the companies who have a social bend of mind to think about social welfare, social development. So if those people can be brought into the CSR, they can better understand the training and interested people in CSR. These are the two key factors.
Yeah, definitely. So when you talk about the companies, do you, from your experience, do you also think that companies prefer visibility-driven CSR like donations, infrastructures, and all over the deep systematic interventions?
That is one aspect. Definitely, we should talk about that, whatever we are doing. But
Yeah,
at the same time, the sustainability aspect should not be forgotten. The objective of the project should not be forgotten, and that should not be hidden. I have seen many CSR funding works in the nearby villages or many places where the companies are there. But later on, the continuation is not there. It's just one time thing. So sustainability continuation should be the goal of CSR funding.
yeah,
And
exactly. Even I
in
agree.
future,
Yeah,
maybe the system should be developed in such a way that system will run even if CSR funding is not there. We should have developed a system that system can run it on its own. That
e-
should be the goal. Once the
exactly.
system runs
That,
in its own, we don't need CSR.
yeah, that ecosystem should be the ultimate goal of CSR activities. That
Yeah,
things should come into automation, whether the funding is there or not. It should
yes,
not hamper the development in the coming days, right?
right, right.
So, you have been involved in many impact assessments of different development projects as well. So, do you think that these short term projects are somehow affecting the scenario, or do we only need the long term projects that will bring some change in the society?
It is both. It depends. Like if there is an immediate need, then certain projects are definitely required, and we should encourage that. But at the same time, long-term projects should not be ignored, because if I talk about education, education is not a short-term project; it's a long-term project. So if somebody is investing in education, you may think of investing for 20 years, 30 years, then you can see the result. But when you talk about plantation may be for 5 years and then leave it, the forest can develop on its own. So it depends, like which project and how long one project should go, and when it will give you the returns in a sustainable way, in a socially benefiting way.
Exactly. And so, now talking about the students you are also addressing in your courseworks, from your experience, what motivates these young youth participation in the CSR arena? Is it the volunteering spirit or the career growth, or are they really motivated for the social growth thing?
Uh, Frankly speaking, nowadays many students are also not aware of the CSR things. So our job is to tell them what is CSR and why CSR should be there for the larger benefit of the society, and indirectly a benefit to all of them.
Exactly.
So once they understand this, they can take the steps to volunteer for CSR activities. So probably the society or the people in the academia, they must aware the students. They must teach them why CSR is important.
Yeah, definitely. Youth should be taught why exactly CSR is important, because they will carry forward the ultimate thing what exactly CSR is doing in the society. Because even these days, when we are talking that CSR is penetrating in each and every area, I don't think that everyone in the society is aware about what exactly CSR is and how companies and government is facilitating their life these days.
Yes.
Yeah. So, how do you basically see the future of CSR? Is it integration with the ESG thing, or sustainability, or the sustainable development goals?
Yeah, I believe that if we can make CSR a kind of mission, we can easily achieve our goal of Viksit Bharat by 2047. There is no doubt about it. That's my belief, and if systematically done through professionalism, we can definitely achieve our goal of a Viksit Bharat.
Yeah. So, when we talk about Viksit Bharat 2047, how do you think that what exactly will be the shifting trends in CSR? Like these days, we are focusing on skill development and training part, facilitating the medical needs of the society, facilitating the educational part. So, do you see that some new trends will be set in the coming days, or will we be moving on this traditional line only?
I would see that there would be, with the National Education Policy 2020, there are changes in the syllabus and everything has come up to a stage that we are no more doing the rote kind of learning nowadays. And this is a good step by the Ministry of Education. Now, CSR activities must orient these kind of initiatives, and they must come to the academics to teach what is happening in the companies, what kind of things are going to change, and how academia and industry can interface to help each other grow. Second, there are some urgent needs to address. The urgent need to address right now is climate.
Yeah.
So, what CSR, how CSR fund can be utilized to address the climate change, like building infrastructure, or maybe vehicle, whatever innovations we are bringing, we must think how to reduce the carbon footprint on our planet so that we can have a healthy life, because that is the core which is related to quality of life, which is related to health, which is related to sanitation, which is related to many other things. And the biggest pollutant now, if you can see, the solid waste pollutant is the packaging industry. Can
Yeah.
we do something about packaging? Can we come up with some sustainable packaging? It is not that we didn't have sustainable packaging. In our culture, many of the things that we were practicing earlier were highly sustainable. But with the coming of this globalization movement, and maybe you say liberalization or privatization thing, we get these kind of habits which is unsustainable. So let us go back to some of the traditional practices, and let us make this world a beautiful place to live in.
Yeah, exactly. So, when we talk about uh, shifting our habits to the traditional days, are we claiming that not only the industrial aspirations, definitely our habitual changes will make the difference in the coming days?
Definitely. That is what I have been teaching to my students from the class of development studies. What an individual can do, that is more important. My
Yeah,
behavior, I must change my behavior. Why I am using plastics, though plastics are available. So if I change my behavior, maybe there is a reduction in the demand, and then the company has to stop producing those kind of products. So even the companies who are providing CSR, in a sense, they are promoting their products which is not
exactly.
sustainable. This is a very difficult situation. Many a times we think that CSR is for good, but in the same method, they are also promoting their products.
Yeah, this is where
Uh,
the contradiction arises.
yes, yes, yes. So we must know what is right and what is wrong. Is it ethical or it is unethical? This is very important.
Exactly. So basically, to determine what is ethical and unethical, the students should be academically sound. They should be taught about these CSR things in their college arena only. I don't think this should be the part of the course for development students only. This should be aligned to all the students coming into their graduation and master's part.
Yeah, of course. It's for everyone. It's not only for the students of development studies. It is for everyone. Everyone should know about the ethical aspects of CSR or about CSR.
Yeah,
Everyone
exactly.
should.
Because as we name it, corporate social responsibility, it should be individualistic social
Yes.
responsibility, I guess.
Individual social responsibility also matters when
Yeah,
I
exactly. That
talk
also
about corporate
matters.
social responsibility. Yes.
Definitely, sir. So, to culminate the entire discussion we had, what advice would you give to students and young researchers who want to engage in CSR research or careers in the coming days?
Well, they should be educated well in their academics to know what is happening. They should be updated with the change, what is happening in around them. In addition to that, they should be observant, a keen observer of their surrounding. If they observe, they can know many things, because learning doesn't happen within the four walls of the classroom. Learning happens anywhere and everywhere, provided you are open to learning. So if students are open to learn, open to know, they can do wonderful job.
Definitely. So here we will stop the discussion, Dr. Biswal. It was
Thank you.
great interacting with you about the CSR perspective, challenges, and the way forward, basically, and even how the academia can involve with different aspects, and how even the industry and bureaucratic processes can work in terms of developing the CSR scenario and the perspective pan India and even in the world. So, together we also aspire that India should be a better place to live along with this CSR things reaching to the
It's
larger
not
mile in
not
the
about
community.
India, it's about the world.
Yeah,
We are
exactly.
talking
It's
about
about the world.
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So
Yeah,
let's
Vasudeva
actually do
Kutumbakam.
that.
Yeah, exactly, sir. So, thank you so much, sir. I thank you from my team's side as well to join us and being the first speaker of this series we have started. And we look forward to more and more people's coming to the platform and sharing their views. And thank you so much for being the first speaker, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much for the invitation.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, sir.